Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Stock Market Update video. This is where I do analysis on QQQ, as well as the 7 mega cap tech, Tesla, Meta, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Apple, and Nvidia. So we're looking at their support resistance levels, as well as the most likely scenario price we're heading into later this week. All right, so let's take a look at Qs first, and because Q moves the market the most, and pretty much will move SPY as well, because it's 30% of SPY. All right, so pretty much we got to bounce off of this. Over the weekend, I was talking about this rising wedge, and we talked about where if this breaks bull, then we may have more upside, and if this breaks bear, we may retest this Monday's low, and it broke bull. So let's delete this now. Actually, let's just keep that in case it comes back and back test as a support. So we talked about where resistance can act as support after it back tested, and currently we don't have that yet. So what I'm looking at right now is two scenarios. So either this is going to be an inverse head and shoulders, so we get a slight pullback and get a daily bull flag, as well as an inverse head and shoulders, and continue up higher and potentially back up to all-time highs. But for now, we'll take it one step at a time, and we'll see if that inverse head and shoulders form. If tomorrow we just break above this resistance, very clear, you know, where we rejected from Thursday, that the following day from that FOMC meeting, and we kind of dumped from there, is going to be pretty key resistance. But because you can see it's right under this structure as well, so this is pretty much where it rejected from. So if we gap up, or we just start slicing through that structure, then that inverse head and shoulders is gone. Then we'll be looking for more of an equilibrium on the weekly. So equilibrium is a big move down, big move up, but we're not going to break the prior high, and usually it retraces close to it, and then we just continue to chop up. So go to the weekly time frame, you can see much more clear as an equilibrium, right? Straight down, straight up. We still have some room up. Let's say we come up right here and we start getting a daily downtrend from that area, then that's potentially equilibrium shaping up. Those are two scenarios I'm looking at, but right now, no signs of that yet. What we need to see is daily downtrends confirming around these areas for us to say, okay, that may be potentially marking that equilibrium top where that may start to turn around. As long as we don't have daily downtrends, if this is just a slight pullback, it makes a higher low again, and it continues back up, then bulls are in absolute full control. So pretty much is what it did down here. Big move up, higher low being set, daily uptrend confirmed right there, and continuation right there. This one's not even a pivot, it's just a straight move up. So currently, we'll just have to watch to see if we form the higher low on the daily, because we are a little bit overbought on the 4-hour RSI and 1 hour as well. So a little bit extended, so a little bit pullback won't be surprising at all. But as long as the 4-hour time frame, EMA 12, which is the teal looking line, is acting as support, bulls are in absolute full control in my opinion. See, bounce, 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 barely even touched it, and we're still going. So no sign of the red flags yet. As long as this pullback is going to be shallow as well, and then we just bounce off again, makes it a higher low. You can see each pivot here, higher low being set, higher low being set, higher low being set, for our uptrend still going. So, and don't fight the bulls, but very clear resistance we just talked about, right? This Thursday's high, which is exactly where this prior low was acting as support, now acting as resistance. So if we start rejecting right from here, forms a 4-hour downtrend, then that inverse head and shoulders are going to become more likely. But for now, let's just see what tomorrow brings. If we get that little drop, and I'll update you guys over the weekend to see what happens. And now we'll look at the 7 mega cap techs to give us more clues. Do they have more room to run? Because these 7 are going to be moving Qs the most. All right, Tesla itself is forming a big equilibrium, right? So same thing, big move up, big move down, did not make a new low, right? Equilibriums don't make new lows or new highs. Now it's a big move up. So can the bulls come up to at least around these areas where like 237? Then we may say potentially there's a tiny range forming for Tesla. Let's see if bulls can pull it off. But if we start, bounce here and then start pulling back, then that tiny range isn't as good of a look. You know, it would be more like weak tiny range. Tiny range, you want to be more even as an equilibrium, but for now, bulls are still in control. So no signs of red flags for Tesla yet. Even in 15 minutes, pretty much close half day. Pretty much look exactly like the Qs. They move up in the morning and just sideways. So when the Qs start to consolidate, we want to see Tesla act as relative strength so that it doesn't pull back as much. But as long as the far uptrend is intact, bulls are currently okay. Although it's the weakest out of the 7, I would say, in my opinion. Or then I think Google is pretty weak as well. But so I have to see. Meta, so it's looking good. Pretty much almost at all-time highs. So no signs of red flags yet. You can see this move straight up. Honestly, no resistance really, other than this all-time highs where we dropped from. If it breaks above that, it'll likely get a big move. So last thing we want to see as a bull is we break out of all-time highs and then V-shape back down. That'll be a red flag. But even if it does that, we literally moved 20%, right? Even if it does that V-shape thing, next thing you know, you could be a bull flag on the daily time from here. So, but I just could be a little bit cautious if it does that V-shape down. But we'll likely get more follow through on the upside than downside because there's no resistance above us. Pretty much no volume, right? Nobody bought it up here. When it hits all-time highs, psychology of it just means that everyone that has ever bought Meta that it's currently holding is in the green. So either it's going to be profit taking or people are going to be adding. So don't want to be fighting the bulls for no reason, especially when it's all-time highs. And Amazon, similar idea where it's every day just goes up, and we currently bounced 16%. But Amazon has a lot more resistance than Meta, of course, right? You can see this entire structure right here is 3 months of sideways action where now Amazon is about to test, right? We literally moved 16% up right under the biggest structure of resistance that Meta has, Amazon has formed in the last 3 months. So definitely not going to be as easy here from this move to this move. This is going to be easy, right? But from here to here is definitely going to be a lot harder because why? There's literally no volume in this area. So it's a lot easier for Amazon to bounce from here to here. There's so many gaps in this area and very little volume here as well. So less resistance. But from here onwards, 3 months of buyers and sellers in this area are going to definitely chop things up a little bit. Doesn't mean that it's going to just reject and go all the way down. It just means that it likely won't just go straight line up into 190s. So we'll see. We did close right under it, slightly slash in it, and there was no rejection yet. But as we come closer to these volume nodes, it'll likely form some kind of short-term resistance. But as long as the trend is intact on a 4-hour as well, no signs of red flags at this moment. You can see the 4-hour EMA 12 as well. It's just been riding it, right? Absolutely just riding it. So as long as it doesn't break below that, no sign of red flags. Google, yep, one of the weakest. Talked about this on the weekend. As long as it doesn't get over EMA 12 on the daily, it's absolutely doing nothing. Downtrend confirmed right here. Pivot, another lower high pivot being set, lower high, another lower high being set right there, another lower high being set right here. But this time, bulls actually played defense here. So let's see if they can form a higher low and confirm a daily uptrend by breaking this Tuesday's high or Monday's high. Monday's is a little higher. Yeah, so Monday's high. If we break above Monday's high and break above daily EMA 12, we'll likely get it probably more follow through and potentially up to, I'll say probably at least 167. And that will be a daily uptrend confirmed. We're back for Google. And that'll probably be a little bit more upside. Google has been a lot of news lately, negative news impacting it. So it's the weakest with Tesla out of the 7 at this moment. You can see that there's a little gap here, right? So it was easy for Google to move up, and then it just hits its first resistance and then starts pulling back. That's relative weakness, looks like on a stock compared to the market. And relative strength would be Meta when you look at Meta's chart, right? Meta is all the way back up here already. So we have one bear, actually 1.5, Tesla, and Tesla's weight today definitely outperformed Google. So we have one bear, Google, for now, and the rest looks okay. And Microsoft. So Microsoft pulling its weight now after its sideways action last week. Yeah. So it was big up, higher low being set, and it was trying to see if it can break out of it, and it finally did Monday. Now it's just falling through, so that's good. Daily uptrend confirmed as well. So this is what we want to see from Google, right? You finally break above the pivot and form a daily uptrend, and then get 3 days of follow through. It doesn't have to be 3 days, but at least some kind of follow through, and that'll be good. If Google can do that, that'll definitely help the Qs pull up even more higher. And Microsoft, we're probably looking back up closer to the high of this range, which is this structure. So we're looking closer to this, pretty much right here, 420 to this 431 zone is going to have resistance. And we'll see if it comes up all the way. Maybe it'll form an inverse head and shoulders as well over here for Microsoft. But for now, close the high of its day. No signs of red flag. Don't fight the bulls as long as it's trending above for our EMA 12 as well. And Apple. Yeah, definitely one of the strongest as well. No signs of red flags. You see green every single day. This pullback was because the market was weak, and it pulled back less than the market. And talked about over the weekend too. If Apple has to retest this low, that means the market will break its Monday's low, which is very unlikely after a capitulation bottom. And now you can see Apple is relative, almost back to its all-time highs. So no signs of red flags here either. And yeah, just don't fight the bulls. I feel like I'm just repeating this over and over, but of course there can be a chance that we form that weekly lower high, right? And that, or that equilibrium tiny range, which means that there's a lot of downside as well if that happens. But we'll take it one set at a time. First thing we want to see is an hourly downtrend. If the bears can't even confirm, I don't think bears can even confirm 15-minute downtrend, right? Not even a 15-minute downtrend either. Big move down, no, it's just new all-time high. Big move down, higher again, right? You need bears need to break up the pivot low for it to be a downtrend. Same thing over here, 15-minute drop. Way more than enough space to confirm a 15-minute downtrend, and the bears couldn't, right? They couldn't break that prior low, and then just kidding, right? So if bears can't even confirm a 15-minute downtrend, bare minimum for me is at least an hourly downtrend. But if they can't even confirm 15-minute downtrend, right, we're not going to have anything shape up on the bear side at this moment. Obviously, we'll be keep on watch of it, but don't fight the bulls when they are trending. Nvidia, huge V shape, right? 35%. So yeah, just don't fight. The only resistance I'm seeing is this one. Rejection. That's 2 touches, right? Doesn't mean it's that valid. So, but we'll see. This is more of a visual guide to see if when it comes up to here, will it, at least give us one red day or something, which is probably perfectly normal. It was, even if we get one red there, it could still be a daily bull flag. So we'll see what happens there, which is coming up to this top of this structure as well. So this structure right here will also coinciding with this level 126. So it may act as just a slight resistance. But for now, same thing. Don't even fight the bulls for our EMA 12. Bounce. Absolute full bull control at this given moment. And no signs of red flags either, because bears can't even confirm a 15-minute downtrend yet. So we'll see. Although they kind of slightly did, but I'm not counting this in the after hours. Top of the move, pivot being set, right? There's a lower low. So that's a 15-minute downtrend confirmed with 0 follow through, which can happen a lot of times, especially in after hours or just less liquidity. That's why I take hourly as the bare minimum for any kind of reversal moves. All right, that is a call for you guys. I'll update you guys on natural gas and commodities over the weekend. Currently, natural gas is doing pretty much what I said will do. We'll form that inverse head and shoulders on the daily. So nothing much to report there, but I'll give you guys a more detailed update over the weekend. And I'll do another one of stock market update as well over the weekend. And yeah, have a great rest of you guys' day. I'll see you guys around. Make sure to set your stop losses and trade with a plan.